Hi everyone, welcome back to the Rank Booster series. I'm Saurabh Pant. So in this set of videos which I'm uploading, I told in the beginning itself, in the first video itself, that I will not be uploading the things which you are asking for because they may or may not be useful for you at this point of time, because there are certain things that you have to sincerely read from your notes and then only you can get the proper grip on that specific topic, rather than looking for some videos here and there and wasting your time unnecessarily at the online platform. On the other hand, there are some videos that you desperately need because reading the notes will not be able to suffice that properly. One such topic is the physical property of the organic compounds. Problem is that to read the physical properties, there are 5 different chapters in which 2 paragraphs only are given in the physical properties. Some tables are given that people don't follow properly. Information, some data are given over there. As a result, the student is not able to compile all of them, where the teacher's role come into play. A problem is that some teachers do not take this topic as well seriously because they think it is something which a student can do by themselves as well. It is not that much glamorous to teach, as much as the mechanism is very glamorous to teach. Acidic basic strength, GOC part, stability of intermediates. It's a very glamorous topic in the organic chemistry. Physical property is something which always takes a back seat during the preparation time also. As a result, because this do not get proper emphasis in the class, students also start taking this topic very, very carelessly. But the problem is that when you are writing any national level examination of junior, senior, inter level, whether for engineering or for the medical, in both cases, bhaiya, physical property, one question to fixed you can assume will come in the examination. Mostly the question is so easy that people are able to crack that by the broader idea. I will also in this video start with the broader idea, the simpler idea, that you will see and you will understand that, sir, this I know. But after completing the broader aspect, after every 2 minutes, you will get some specific exceptions to keep in mind. Again, I can teach a lot of garbage in this topic because obviously there is a lot of possibility in the experimental data, but I will not teach any garbage at all in this topic, whether you like it or you not. Whether you say ki nahi sir, this physical property, these extra exceptions are there, you might post in the comment box also ki sir, what about this exception, what about that exception. Bhaiya, I don't care about any exception which is not relevant for your selection. If you want to do MSc in chemistry, do MSc in chemistry. Now, why are you focusing upon the NEET and JEE examination? And if you are focusing upon NEET and JEE examination, understand, read less and get more marks. Specifically, you have to read a certain set of things. And whatever I am telling in this video, from there only the question will be set in the examination. You will be able to observe within 2 months. So, bhaiya, let's start without any left-right talking. So, dekho bhaiya. The first thing that I'm going to compare is alkyl halide. What I'm doing in this video, I'm compiling all the chapters, all the 5 chapters of organic chemistry from hydrocarbons up to the nitrogen containing compounds, amines and all. Complete thing I've compiled together in this set of videos. So one video is enough for your physical property reading. So dekho bhaiya, alkyl halide, the first thing we are comparing is boiling point. So always check the mass first. For boiling point, always check the mass. More mass, more boiling point. So therefore, this is not very conceptually correct. Conceptually talking, it is about the surface area. More surface area, more boiling point. But the thing is that it's very tough to listen and understand and grab the meaning of the surface area, then radius, and then periodic table should also be strong. Rather than that, just mass is enough for you to understand the basic concept. This will give you the marks in the examination. So mass will give you marks. So let's go with the mass. So dekho yaar, if the mass is more, boiling point is more. Example. R group is same, alkyl group is same. Let's say CH3, CH2 or C2H5. C2H5I, C2H5Br, C2H5Cl, C2H5F. So obviously iodine is the largest atom there. So his mass will be the heaviest. So his boiling point is also highest. Then RBr, then RCl, then RF. One direct question. Sir, what if the mass is same? If the mass is same, then branching more, boiling point less. Understand, if the mass is same, then check the branching. Do not check the branching before checking the mass. Sometimes what people do wrong is that they find C2H5Br and CH3, or we can say C3H7Br and CH3, CH3 and here I, for example. What people say is, sir, here branching is more, so the boiling point should be less, because branching more, boiling point less. You can see the branch here, and in this case branching is less. But bhaiya yaar, firstly check the mass na yaar. Iodine has larger mass, so clear cut he wins. 3 carbon here, 3 carbon here, 1 bromine here, 1 iodine here. So obviously he is the heavier person, so his boiling point will be higher here. So clearly understand this part. He firstly always check the mass, settle with the mass first, then only check the branching. If the mass is same, for example, Br common. Check the number of carbon 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Understand, for the comparison of property, we never check the hydrogen mass for comparing the mass. When we say na similar mass is there or same mass is there, what we mean? All the atoms except hydrogen. All the atoms except hydrogen. That means hydrogen is so light that 2, 3 hydrogen up and down does not create much difference in the boiling point. Again, hydrogen atom is so light that 2, 3 hydrogen up and down will not create any difference in the boiling point, which we have to notice. So in short, we are just concerned about carbon number here and bromine number here. So sir, 1, 1 bromine in all and 4, 4 carbons in all. That means mass is same. If mass is same, then more branch, less boiling point. You can see this example. This is unbranched, straight chain unbranched. Here 1 branching came. Here 2 branching came. So sir, more branching is there, so the boiling point will be lesser. More branching, lesser boiling point. Why? Reason is very simple. Think about it. If straight chain like this is there, second case 1 branching has come, third case something like this branching has come. So एक चीज बताओ यार, doesn't it look like that this surface area is more, and as the branching is increasing, the shape is becoming more and more spherical. You can understand, this is looking like a flat chain. This looks like a little spherical, little bit curvature kind of thing has come, and this looks like a complete spherical shape. So more the branching, more spherical type of shape will come. And those who are little bit okay in mathematics or physics, they will understand ki sir, sphere has the minimum surface area. That's why all the planets are also sphere, to minimize their surface area, to minimize the contact with the remaining nature. So understand कि more branching gives a spherical surface. Spherical surface, spherical shape means lesser surface area, and lesser surface area means less van der Waals force of attraction. What I said, more branch. If the branching is more, what will happen? Spherical shape will come. Spherical shape will come, that means surface area will decrease. Surface area will decrease, that means van der Waals force will be more. This concepts also you should know, because sometimes they simply ask the question ki bhaiya this is having more boiling point, why? And the reasons they can give you in 4 options, you have to choose the correct reason. So understand, more branching means more spherical shape. More spherical shape means lesser surface area. Yaar. Lesser surface area means more van der Waals force of attraction. So here surface area is more, here lesser, here least. So simple shortcut, branching more, boiling point less. Badhiya. Understand, the hard work you do here will be used in every chapter. Same logic will work in every chapter. That means in the remaining parts also. Going ahead. What about the boiling point? देखो यार, boiling point has a relation with the volatility also. Volatility means how easy it is to evaporate. More volatile means easy to evaporate. Less volatile means less easy to evaporate or tough to evaporate. So if the boiling point is more, a lot of heat is required to boil him, to evaporate him, to vaporize him. So if the boiling point is more, that means the volatility will be less. So sometimes they can ask you the order of volatility. So the order of volatility will be opposite the order of boiling point. So all these arrows will reverse for the volatility order. Similarly, sometimes surface tension question also comes. So if the boiling point is high, surface tension will automatically be high. Why? Because boiling point as well as surface tension, they both depend upon the force of attraction. So if the boiling point is high, that means the force of attraction is high. If force of attraction is high, that means surface tension will also be high. That means intermolecular force of attraction is high. So understand bhaiya, firstly what you have to check? Mass. After that what you have to check? Sir, after mass we will check branching. If the mass is same. Then if the branching is more, so if the branching is more, shape becomes spherical, surface area decreases, boiling point decreases. Going ahead. Next thing, similarly I can compare here also, in alcohol chapter also. तो बताओ यार, out of A, B and C if I ask you to compare, तो sir 1 carbon here, 2 carbon here, sir 3 carbon here, sir clear cut, this will have more boiling point as compared to CH3, CH2OH, as compared to CH3OH. Are you able to understand? एक बार properly you can check. Because here what problem comes, what people start thinking is that कि sir hydrogen bonding is there. बहुत बढ़िया बात है सर. इफ द हाइड्रोजन बॉन्डिंग इज देयर, इट इज अ हाइड्रोफोबिक चेन, तो सर हाइड्रोफोबिक चेन विल हिंडर विद द हाइड्रोजन बॉन्डिंग. सही बात है, बिकॉज मोर द एल्काइल ग्रुप, लेसर द हाइड्रोजन बॉन्डिंग. सो लॉन्गर द चेन, हाइड्रोजन बॉन्डिंग विल बी लेस. 100% एक्सेप्टेड. सर एज अ रिजल्ट ही शुड हैव द मिनिमम हाइड्रोजन बॉन्डिंग. बिल्कुल सही बात है. एज अ रिजल्ट सर हिज बॉइलिंग पॉइंट शुड बी मिनिमम. वेरी रॉन्ग. Up to here you were correct. Up to saying this that he will show lesser hydrogen bonding, you were correct. Why? Because this larger chain will show steric hindrance as well as a lot of hydrophobic nature also is there. But majorly steric hindrance will be there, Plessy effect will be there. A lot of things regarding the organic you can apply there and prove it that hydrogen bonding he will be showing lesser. I accept this part. But I am not able to accept this part कि his boiling point will be lesser. Why sir? Hydrogen bonding is not the important factor. Yaar, information or data says just the opposite. What I'm giving you right now is the order on the basis of the information that we know, the data that we know, the actual boiling points. If your theory does not match with the experiment, then bhai sahab, your theory is wrong. Experiment is not wrong. So bhaiya, this is the experimental trend. So this trend told us कि chacha, stop applying your hydrogen bonding for the boiling point theory and mug up this by heart every time NEET and JEE questions will go correct. ठीक है भाई साहब, this is very important to understand here. Knowing a concept is secondary. Knowing when to apply that concept is primary for chemistry. To understand, hydrogen bonding is important. I will use that also, but I will use in the solubility, but I will not use in finding the boiling point. Why, sir? Because van der Waals force of attraction is dominating. How do you know, sir? Have you checked? I have checked the boiling point, and van der Waals force of attraction is able to explain the trend in boiling point. So understand, always check the mass first. Baki hydrogen bonding secondary hai. It's not your job to check the hydrogen bonding for boiling point. Wrong answer will come. So understand, bhaiya, boiling point proportional to mass. Otherwise, what happens if this question comes in the examination? People start thinking when they don't mug up this thing. They start thinking, mug up, sir, mug up. You are trying to give us. You are asking us to mug up this thing. Ha, I'm asking you to mug up. You are not scientists that you are going to predict the things of the nature. Einstein, Newton, I'm not teaching right now. It is chemistry. You have to mug up. You have to remember the trend. The best of the scientists also have to remember the trend. After that, you will explain using the theory what the reason could be. So this is the trend. Now batao bhaiya, hydrogen bonding can explain this trend? No. So what will explain this trend? Sir, van der Waals force of attraction will explain the trend. So this question can also come. The relative boiling point of methanol and ethanol is explained best by option hydrogen bonding, van der Waals, ion-ion interaction, ion-dipole interaction. So bhaiya, answer will come as van der Waals. Concept are strong, na bhai sahab. No question will go wrong in either NEET examination or JEE examination. So what you have to check for boiling point? Sir, mass. ठीक है भाई साहब. Sir, why not hydrogen bonding? Because hydrogen bonding gives us the wrong answer. Sir, ये क्या logic हुआ? This is the exactly correct logic. If anyone gives you any other logic, he is making fool of you. There is no other logic because this is the experiment. If the result would have come opposite, we would be explaining using the hydrogen bond. Arey bhaiya, human beings are like this only. We firstly study the experiment. That is how science is made. And then we explain using the theory which is best matching with the experiment. So understand, always this trend you have to remember ki mass has to be checked first. Second thing, if I compare this B and C, these two compounds, so you can understand 3 carbons, 3 carbon. Hydrogen does not matter. 3 carbon, 3 carbon. 1 O, 1 O. So clear cut yaar, their masses are nearly same. If the masses are nearly same or masses are same, then bhaiya, if the branching is more, boiling point is less. So bhaiya, this has more branching, so his boiling point will be lesser. Digested properly up to here, I guess. Carrying on. This C part have to mug up. Don't apply any extra brain and just remember at this point of time. If you know the reason, good for you. If you don't know the reason, it does not matter. But actually the reason is somewhere related to dipole moment. So polarity is more, so his boiling point will be more. Then here packing is more, so his boiling point will be second. Here neither the polarity is more nor the packing is good. So M comes the last. That's the actual logic of boiling point. But how to mug up? See the trick. Trick is that you might have known this thing. You have heard about opium. Opium poppy, weed. People use a lot of this opium, especially in the, we used to grow a lot of opium in India due to the Britishers here. So remember, opium if people take opium should not be taken here. Drugs should be completely banned from us. That is the last thing we should do in our entire life. That should never be done here. So understand, if opium someone takes, his blood pressure increases. If someone takes the opium, his blood pressure increases. So remember, BP, blood pressure, opium. Blood pressure, opium. That means dichloro. If you are comparing, then OPM, BP, so boiling point, OPM, ortho, then para, then meta. Mugged up bhaiya badhiya se ekdam. क्यों? Properly यार. Trick is that boiling point for dichloro. Sir, what about dibromo diiodine? No one is asking. No bakwas. Direct to the point NEET and JEE preparation we are doing. Left, right, center, unnecessary logic, unnecessary examples are not in our course. We are not doing PhD in chemistry, bhai sahab. You are not doing MSc degree in chemistry either. You are preparing for NEET and JEE. Focus upon that only. Don't try to innovate new things, especially in the last 1.5 months. Where was this curiosity? Where was this curiosity in the beginning of the session? At that time, you never asked. So focus right now and mug this up. Any unnecessary question will not be entertained, bhaiya. I am not going to reply to any unnecessary question. Only exactly this you have to remember. So dichloro, ortho, meta, para. What is the order over benzene ring? So answer is very simple. Sir, BP, OPM. BP, boiling point, OPM, because OPM increase the BP, blood pressure. Second, for melting point. Dekho yaar. O and M order remain the same. Firstly, O then M remain the same, but P, para, has better packing. Understand always, for melting point, packing also plays a very important role, because melting is what? Melting is conversion. Melting is conversion of solid into liquid, and solid has to be packed properly. Compact packing is there in solid. So think about the structures कि भैया 2 chlorine are here, or 2 chlorine are here, or 2 chlorine are here, which will be most compactly packed. So I can understand if benzene is like this and 1 chlorine up and down is there, you can understand very nice compact closed packing is possible. Hai na bhai? Very close they can pack. Otherwise, if the chlorine is coming like this, what will happen? It will hinder. Some steric hindrance will be there. They will push each other. This will push the next one. Are you able to get it? And when the chlorine are up and down, so very nice sweet packing, one by one, you can nicely stack them together, you can nicely compile them together. So because of better packing, the melting point of para becomes higher. So boiling point BP, OPM. BP, OPM. And bhaiya melting point POM. Why POM? Because para won and remaining order remained the same. Para won, why? Because of better packing. This is the exact reason. So bhaiya, this was about the alcohol and alkyl halide boiling point. I'll continue with the remaining part also. Let's talk about density. Density proportional to mass directly. That means same thing you can focus here also. Ri has more density. Same thing I can write here, that Ri, RBr, RCl, RF. So bhaiya, clear cut density is decreasing here. Why sir? Because more mass, more density you have to follow. Okay bhaiya, clear cut answer. Over. End of story. Going ahead. In this case also, same thing you can apply in this case also. So more mass, more density, clear cut you can do. Next, solubility. देखो यार, solubility when I'm talking about the solubility in water. Solubility in water. तो देखो भैया, first thing, alkyl halide chapter I'm talking about. तो भैया RX, alkyl halides are very less soluble in water. They are almost insoluble in water, and this is the reason we use the Lucas test. So when we are having the Lucas test for alcohol get converted to alkyl halide. Because alkyl halide are not soluble, so turbidity comes there, a whitish color comes there, a suspension is made. So here RCl, RBr, Ri, RF, they are insoluble in water, almost insoluble in water, very negligibly soluble. So understand, to compare their solubility, first thing to keep in mind, they are almost insoluble. So in case you have to compare alcohol versus alkyl halide, so obviously alkyl halide will lose, alcohol will win, because little bit hydrogen bonding he can do with water. They can't do anything, little bit polar and polar interaction, dipole interaction is there, but nothing much. There also, if the R size is more, that means alkyl group size is more, then the solubility should be less. That means if I have, for example, this Cl and this Cl, so clear cut, the solubility in water will be lesser for this alkyl group having chlorine. Why? Because clear cut longer hydrophobic chain. This chain is called hydrophobic chain. This is water hating chain. So if the water hating or hydrophobic chain is longer, obviously the solubility will be lesser. Badhiya ho gaya bhaiya. Carry on. What about the alcohol topic? If the R size is more, solubility is less. That's also same. That means if the size is more, solubility is less. If the alkyl chain is longer, hydrophobic part is longer, solubility will be lesser. But important thing is there, for alcohol, the solubility is due to hydrogen bonding with water. They can show hydrogen bonding with water. That is why they are soluble in water, and hence their solubility will be obviously more than alkyl halide. I will compare at the last these, like right now I'm comparing horizontally. within the alkyl halide chapter only. At the last I will compare all the chapters together also, that alkyl halide with alcohol, with aldehyde, ketone and with nitrogen containing compounds also, specifically what is needed in NEET and JEE. Carrying on, so R size more, solubility less. I think this part is clear to us. So if I compare methanol, ethanol, propanol, so clear cut, the solubility of methanol is going to be maximum. The solubility of methanol is going to be maximum, followed by ethanol and followed by propanol and so on. In fact, lower alcohols, methanol, ethanol, they are 100% soluble in water. Why? Because their hydrophobic chain is smaller. So if their hydrophobic chain is smaller, this alkyl group is called hydrophobic chain. If the hydrophobic chain is smaller, then this OH group can show very good hydrogen bonding with water. And this hydrophobic people, they will not make a chadda face ki nahi, I don't want to go in water. They will not be able to get entertained as much there. But if the alkyl chain becomes very big, clear cut, the alcohol become insoluble. Like such a big alkyl chain is there, meth, eth, prop, but, pent. So pentanol, it will not be soluble in water, very negligibly soluble in water. Whereas methanol, ethanol are soluble in all proportions. What is the line in NCERT? Smaller alcohols are soluble in all proportions. That means whether you add more alcohol or you add less alcohol in water, it will be soluble if it is methanol, ethanol. ठीक है भैया? So clear cut, if the chain size increases, solubility decreases. Why? Because chain is hydrophobic. Let us carry on. So bhaiya, now let us carry on with the aldehyde ketone. One very remarkable thing about aldehyde ketone that a lot of students miss while reading is that if the size of the alkyl group is less, the fragrance will be more, the smell will be awesome. So understand, if I have for example aldehyde and for example I have that is methanol, formaldehyde and CH3, CH2, CHO, then whose smell will be sweeter, better smell, more fragrant smell? So bhaiya, fragrance is more of methanol, that is formaldehyde. In fact, they can be used in the perfumes and deodorants also. Such a kind of smell these people are having. But as the chain size increases, for example, if I take CH3, CH2, CH2, CHO, this is having highly pungent smell. So this question can come, ki which of the following has the least pungent smell, most fragrant smell? This kind of question can also come. And yes, it is important. And bhaiya, how to remember it? If the size of the alkyl group is decreasing in the aldehyde and ketone, fragrance will increase. What about boiling point? Same logic. So batao yaar, out of CH3, CHO, CH3, CH2, CHO, whose boiling point will be more? Sir, here 3 carbon, here 2 carbon, remaining things same. So sir, more mass, more boiling point. Game over. Next what? Same thing you can do for ketone also with the mass. Again, if the branching is more, boiling point is less, same logic will work here also. So if the branching is more, automatically the boiling point will be less. We can do that question also. But one important thing that people get confused here is that, sir, aldehyde will have more boiling point or ketone? Ab dekho yaar, story is very simple. Sometimes some aldehydes have, for example, if I take acetone and propanol, mass is nearly same. Hai na? If the mass is more, then that person has more boiling point. For example, if I take CH3, C double bond O CH3 and I get CH3, CH2, CH2, CHO. So here 1, 2, 3, 4 carbons are there and 1 O is there. Here 1, 2, 3, 3 carbon are there, 1 O is there. So more mass, more boiling point. So bhaiya, clear cut winner. You don't have to worry about it. If the mass is same, that means 3 carbon here, 3 carbon there, O is common, hydrogen we don't worry about. So we understand for such a scenario, sometimes ketone will win, sometimes aldehyde will win. So sir, when we will know ketone will win, how can we know aldehyde will win? To understand, only this one you have to mug up. That means acetone versus propanol. You have to remember कि भैया ketone is more than aldehyde in the case of 3 carbon. That means acetone is more than propanol. Only that you have to remember. Sir, what about if they ask about butanol, pentanol? They will not ask. They are not having this free time to ask you unnecessary question. They will ask you what is exactly in your course. So know your syllabus very well. तो भैया, if aldehyde versus ketone question will come, always acetone versus propanol will come. ठीक है भाई साहब? So this one you can remember. Otherwise, sometimes aldehyde is more, sometimes ketone is more. So if we have to compare aldehyde and ketone by mistake, then what to do? Then check 100% the carbon atoms will be different. So whosoever has more carbon atom, whosoever has more mass, will automatically have the higher boiling point. I think this confusion is settled. Going ahead, density, this topic density question does not come. Solubility, they also form the hydrogen bonding with water. I hope you can understand by this diagram. Okay, this is water molecule forming the hydrogen bonding with the C double bond O. Here also, if the size of the alkyl group increases, solubility decreases. So methanol, ethanol, propanol, methanol, ethanol, propanol, if I compare, so your solubility of lower aldehyde and ketone will be higher than higher aldehyde and ketone. Clear cut. Acha, what asked generally in the examination. Talking about amines. So amines also, yeah, same logic will work. So methanamine and ethanamine. So obviously ethanamine will win. Why? Because more mass is there, so boiling point will be higher. Primary versus secondary versus tertiary amine. If the mass is same, let us see the example. CH3, CH2, CH2, NH2. CH3, CH2, NHCH3. This is secondary amine. Problem is that people do not realize by this end of the session also what is primary, secondary, tertiary amine also. They consider primary, secondary, tertiary alcohol and amine nearly in the same way. But understand, amine primary means only one side alkyl chain. Secondary means two side alkyl chains. Tertiary mean all the three side alkyl chains are there. So primary versus secondary versus tertiary amine, if I compare of the same mass. So if the mass is different, you know the answer. More mass, more boiling point. If the mass is same, like 3 carbon, 1 nitrogen, 3 carbon, 1 nitrogen, 3 carbon, 1 nitrogen, then bhaiya primary will have more surface area, so more boiling point. Secondary will have lesser surface area, so lesser boiling point. Tertiary will have the most spherical shape, the minimum surface area, so minimum boiling point. Solubility, same. The size of R is more, solubility will be less. And they also show the hydrogen bonding. Amines also show the hydrogen bonding. So lower amines are more soluble. That means methanamine will be more soluble than ethanamine in water. ठीक है भाई साहब? So clear cut, size of alkyl group increases, solubility decreases in the case of amines also. I will compare aldehyde ketone with amines and with alcohol. All of them also I will compare in detail. But right now one last thing you have to keep in mind is that if the R size increases, solubility in water decreases. But the solubility in organic solvent will increase. If the hydrophobic part is more, water hating part is more, then in water the solubility will decrease. But in the organic solvent like CCl4, like CS2, like benzene, like ether, in these solvent the solubility will increase. So understand, whosoever is not soluble in water as much will be happily soluble in the organic solvent. So this logic also sometimes question can be made. Let us carry on here. So now let us compare some overall orders of the different compounds of different chapters. So देखो यार, firstly in general alcohols, if you are taking the same mass, similar mass, understand, I will tell you how to compare the similar mass also. So for similar mass, alcohol more than amine, more than ether, more than alkane you can take. That means alcohol, OH. Obviously OH will show hydrogen bonding. If I compare, then OH will be showing better hydrogen bonding than NH2. Because O is more electronegative, na? Oxygen is more electronegative. So the hydrogen bonding will be shown more by the OH group. So bhaiya, if the mass is nearly same, sir, how to compare mass? Understand, hydrogen ignore, and check the same period element. Same period element means similar. If the same period element is there, that means similar mass. That means it is made up of 2 carbon and 1 oxygen. Carbon is from second period, oxygen is from second period. That means there are 3 elements of second period except hydrogen. 3 elements of second period. Carbon, carbon, nitrogen, 3 elements of second period. Carbon, carbon, oxygen, 3 elements of second period. Carbon, 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 3 elements of second period. That means they all have the similar mass. Sir, but the oxygen mass is more than nitrogen. This much 1, 2 AMU, 3, 4 AMU mass we don't care about. If I'm not caring about hydrogen, so clear cut we don't care about the mass of 2, 3 AMU difference. If the element is from the same period, just count the number of elements of the same period. ठीक है भैया? So for example, I have CCCSH, CCCOH. In this case, तो भैया SH will obviously be having more mass. Why? Because sulfur has significantly high mass as compared to oxygen. Down the group nahi. But if I compare CCCNH2, CCCOH, then I will say, sir, 3 carbon, 1 oxygen, 1 nitrogen. Similar mass is there. Because nitrogen also, oxygen also, they both are from the same period. Similarly, if I take SH here and I take PH2 here, for example, a hypothetical compound PH2 here, then also I will take the mass to be nearly same. Why nearly same? Because sulfur as well as phosphorus, they both are from the third period, so their mass is not significantly different. To understand, bhaiya, they have the similar mass. If the mass is similar, then check the hydrogen bonding. Remember in the boiling point I told you, this is the boiling point order. In the boiling point I told you, hydrogen bonding is not important, van der Waal is important. Why? Because experiment is giving that idea. So what and why you will ask from the nature, bhaiya. Nature is not giving us any chance to change the experimental result. We have to adjust our theory as per that. So van der Waal force is more powerful here in the organic compounds. So bhaiya, if the mass is same, then clear cut ethanol will be more than ethanamine. Will be more than ether. Why? Because these two people, they show hydrogen bonding, and OH is more than NH2. If the mass is same, then directly you can compare by the hydrogen bond. Ether is polar. Polar means there is a COC. So delta plus is there, delta minus there. So some dipole interaction is there. That means this can be attracted towards the other molecule like this. Delta minus, delta plus attraction is there. This kind of attraction is called dipole interaction. Possible. So bhaiya, this is showing polar, dipole interaction. This is hydrogen bond, very high as compared to polar, or high as compared to polar. Alkane is non-polar, so only van der Waal is there, no extra benefit he is getting, so his boiling point will be minimum. This is what a general trend every teacher teaches. Problem is there. NCERT has a question, in the previous NCERT was there from 2017. I think some corrections are done, but 2017 or 18 the corrections are done, but before that even NCERT had the wrong answer, and now they corrected the NCERT. Good for us also, because now we are very sure what answer we have to give in the NEET exam. So bhaiya, up to butane, that means up to 4 second period element, up to this way 4 second period element, this order will work. That means for ethanol, ethanamine, ether to chalo, it cannot form. One single carbon ether is not possible, and methane. So clear cut this order will come. For 2 carbon this order will come, but as soon as 3 carbon also this order will come. For 3 carbon propane this order will come. That means up to ethanol it is possible, up to ethanol. But propanol onwards, if you take propanol, so how many elements came from the second period? 1, 2, 3, 4 element. So bhaiya, with whom? With this, whose mass will be similar in alkane? So with this, butane will be similar with alkane. So up to butane, okay. Even if I compare propanol, propanamine, methyl ethyl ether, that means methoxyethane, whatever you want to call this thing. Methoxyethane, here also 4 element of the second period is there, and butane. So up to butane, to bhaiya brilliant, no problem at all. No problem at all. Clear cut alcohol more than amine, more than ether, more than alkane, you can directly write because of the hydrogen bonding. But problem will come in this second question, which is very important, and there in the NCERT also, bhai sahab, people miss this minimum detail. What happens? Up to butane, up to 3 carbon, up to 4 carbon, to bhaiya, this will work very fine. Alkane will be lower than ether. Alkane will be lower than ether. Up to butane, that means this person versus butane. So clear cut, this person wins. Ether wins over alkane. Up to butane. If the mass is same, If the mass is different, we'll talk about that. But if the mass is same, similar mass. So 4 carbon of second period element, and 4 atoms of the second period element, both have 4 element of the second period. Carbon, oxygen, carbon, same to same. So bhaiya, ether will win. बहुत बढ़िया, nice logic. But pentane onwards, up to butane बहुत बढ़िया. Pentane onwards, alkane start winning. So that means this will happen to hexane, heptane also. That is none of your concern. It happens. Hexane, heptane also this happens, but that is not your concern. Your concern is up to pentane only, up to what is relevant for NEET and JEE. So understand, up to butane. That means if I compare this and this, if I compare this and this, similar mass, then bhaiya ether will win. But if I compare diethyl ether, na bhai, then pentane will win. Chamka bhaiya. So pentane more than ether. Remaining order same. Remaining alcohol, then amine, because they both show hydrogen bonding. Aldehyde also I brought in between. Here also I can put aldehyde. If you want, I can put aldehyde here also. CH3, CHO I can put here, because 3 element of second period. So here also I can put aldehyde if you want. So after that aldehyde. Why? Because more polar. more polar. And after that we get pentane, and after that we get the diethyl ether, even though it is polar, but bhaiya now the van der Waals force of attraction is much more dominating here. So understand the idea ki up to butane, this general ether more than alkane logic, will properly work. But for pentane, remember pentane has more boiling point than diethyl ether. Story up to here will be clear to us, bhaiya. And this is completely experimental, no logic, nothing. Just remember it, experimental. If someone asks you why, what happened, nothing. Nature showed it beauty. Nature showed us that we are nothing in front of the nature. There are so many things which we can't explain on the basis of general trends. So, bhaiya, some exceptions will come there, clear cut. Chemistry are 1-2 exception anyway, people can digest easily. And I'm telling just one exception. Not even a single exception I have told till now. First exception came, and which is a very remarkable thing because a lot of exceptions were expected. Anyway, so understand this, up to pentane, so no problem. Up to pentane, you are able to understand. Up to pentane means if I am having pentane here, that means butanol will come here. That means butanol will come here. Butanamine will come here. Diethyl ether will come here. Because if I want pentane, that means 5 element of second period. Then for ether, I also have to get 5 element of second period. That means carbon, carbon, oxygen, carbon, carbon I will have to get. So up to butane, ether more, but after that clear cut pentane wins. अब चलो बताओ यार फटाफट this last question. This one I have left for you. Meth, eth, prop, but. So butane versus dimethyl ether. Who will win? Take your sweet beautiful time and tell the answer here. Third and the last. Who will win? Dimethyl ether or meth, eth, prop, butane? Who will win? So I think you have decided the answer. So the answer is, why sir you said up to butane to ether is more than alkane? Those who got this correct answer, very good. You are prepared for the NEET exam. You are prepared for the JEE exam. That means your brain is at the right place. You are listening the lecture properly, understanding everything properly. Those who are coming here for time pass, think about it. Answer is this. No exception is there. Explanation is by the same thing which I have told in this complete video. Those who got the answer correct of the third one, very good job. Those who did not get the answer correct yet, don't expect that you will put the comment in the comment box ki sir please tell the answer and I'm going to tell. Nahi yaar. Use your brain. Just because you know a logic will not give you marks until you are able to apply them. And if right now you can't apply after seeing the whole video, in the NEET also this logic will not click. So try to click it yourself. Answer is this, no exception, no surprising thing will come out. Answer will come with the same simple logic. The general trend will give you the answer. So think again, boiling point, how this answer will come. That's all from my side. I hope that hydrocarbon part ki up to where are gas, up to where are liquid and up to where are solid, that you'll be able to remember by yourself also. For that you don't have to turn the pages again and again. A little bit of comparison of boiling point was required, that I have done in front of you. This is all from my side. Please take this video very seriously because one question, you can understand there are so many questions to be asked from here. One, or if you are very lucky, 2 questions can also click in your examination. All the very best. Thank you so much.